Okay, so in full disclosure, I just spent about half an hour doing this on the side to try to figure out what my strategy was going to be, and I think that I figured it out. So the first thing we're going to do is go back to this past schedule. If we refresh the page here and we inspect the element, we can see the past schedule has all these elements on here. Now, I went through it again, and I noticed I made a mistake here. We had the 25, prepare to start, 25 meter underwater swim. Then we had a first 25 meter underwater swim, second 25 minute, and then 30, and then a rest for 30 minutes, and then a 1.5 mile run, and then a 10-minute rest. And then I had, for some reason, I had it in here again. So I'm going to get rid of this one. So we rest for 30 minutes, and then we have a 1.5 mile run. And then we have our second rest for 10 minutes. And then we do pull-ups at repetitions of 10. Apparently there's a 3-minute time period to do that. And then our third rest. So rest 1, rest 2, rest 3. And then the next is sit-ups. 54 in 3 minutes. And then a 2-minute rest, which is now the fourth rest, for 2 minutes. And then the push-ups. Okay, so that just fixed this PST schedule. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to do something called time map. Now since we're already iterating through to calculate the total exercise time in seconds, I also want to add a phase.time map, which is equal to, so with each of these I'm going to set in this object I'm going to add a time map, which is equal to the total exercise time in seconds. So now if I save this and then I come back over to here and I refresh the page and I check out past schedule, we'll see that in the object we've automatically set a time map equal to the inverse, or the sum of this. So the first one is 10, the second one is 190 plus 10, the third one is 370 or 180 plus 190, so 370. The next one is 670 plus 180, which is 977. Okay, so what I want to be able to do is each time that we're going through the set clock, I want to be able to say, is the time to go in seconds less than the time map? And so what I want to do now is change the time map. And so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to iterate through the PAST schedule. And then what we're going to do is set phase.time_map is equal to phase.time_map minus the total exercise time in seconds. So we set it here, and now what we're doing is reversing it now that we have the total time. Okay, so if I save that and I refresh this, looks like we made a mistake. Okay, I needed a parenthesis there. And now I go PAST. And now within this object, okay, I need to flip these. And I refresh the page and PAST. So now we've got, okay, 4, 5, 7, 7. So now we have a time point at which in this exercise we're going to say this is the right one. So as we're ticking down and we've got time to go in seconds ticking down, time to go in seconds is a certain amount of time, we're going to be saying, is this time map greater than, or is it less than the time to go in seconds? If it is, then we're going to display this one, and if not, we're going to do the other one. And I also kind of want to just make a phase, like I want to create a variable called phases. Workout phases. And we're going to set this equal to past schedule dot map. So we're just going to grab each of them, and we're going to map the phase, and we'll just return the phase dot time map. So this just gives me an array of workout phases to work with. So if we refresh this page, now the workout phases are there, and we have everything. But I also want to start, I want the workout phases to begin with the total. So I'm going to unshift. I'm going to add the total exercise time in seconds to the beginning of it. So if I were to do that here, the workout phases dot unshift total exercise times in second, you would see that now the workout phase now has the initial, the longest phase. So this is this is plus the 10 seconds of workout time going into it. So now we have the workout phases. So now in here we can access the workout phases. So I want to, outside of the interval index, I want to begin with a phase, our workout phase, and we're going to set this equal to 0. So what I want to do now is, workout phase, so we've got our workout phases at position workout phase. We'll just call this phase index. Phase index. Okay, so workout phase at phase index. So this gives us a time. And so if I console.log workout phases, and then I console log our time to go in seconds, and then I save this and refresh the page and start the timer, you can see we've got what's going on is, another thing that's kind of, for some reason, I found that it works better if you just add 2 seconds to the time to go in seconds. So anyways, I'm going to refresh this and then start this. Okay, so here it matched. And then we see that it's going down, and this is staying the same. So what I want to do now is when it matches, we want to add 1 to phase. So if workout phase index is equal to or greater than, it's greater than or equal to time to go in seconds, then we want to, we want to iterate, we want to count on the DOM, we want to, list the current activity and the next activity with the phase index. So we want to have the current activity to be there, and then we want to have the next activity be the phase index plus 1, because the phase index is here, so this is 0, and then plus 1 is this one. And then we want to increment the phase index. And so when we do this, okay, so I'm going to save this now, and I'm going to refresh this page and click the start. And now you can see our variables prepare to start and underwater swim have actually begun. And so, yeah, the reason that I'm only doing 2 here is because of the index. So what we want to do, what happens at phase, at the next phase? So if the workout phase is there and the phase index is equal to 0, then we do this one. Else, if the phase index is equal to so this is the last one. When we get to the last variable, what do we want to do? Well, we won't have a next activity. So we'll just bring this triple one in, and then uncomment them. The phase, yeah, it's the last schedule, the next activity will be just completed. And this will be phase index there, and then the phase index -1. Else, if the phase index is equal to the workout phases.length. So this means this is what we do when we're at the end of the workout. This is the last screen that's going to show. And then this one, and then we'll also want to do one else if workout phase is greater than or equal to time to go in seconds, then we're going to want to just punch all 3 of the workouts into the DOM. And so here we'll have our phase index. Here we'll have phase index -1. Here we'll have phase index, and then here we'll have phase index +1. And then this should work. So if we refresh the page here and refresh, we see the prepare to start and the underwater swim. And now in about 10 seconds it's switched over. So now we've got our second underwater swim and our second one's here, our first one's here, and we've already prepared to start. So now we know this is what we should be doing. This is the workout that we should be on right now. And this is a 3-minute thing, so it's going to take a while to do that. But yeah, I can get rid of this now. And now we have a programmatic way of working our way through whatever JavaScript objects gets passed in as PST schedule. All of this stuff is all part of the application. So it could actually probably move to a separate page, and then we have and then we just have the schedule here. And that way anybody who was writing another workout could just write it in with their intervals here. So yeah. Let's see here. What should we do next? The thing that I don't like about this right now is that there's no current activity thing. So what we're kind of doing is we're setting the clock display. We're setting this main overall clock, but we don't have a current activity clock, right? So yeah. To completion. So this would be like a completion clock. If I refresh the page, completion clock is going to be this one. And then it'd be good to have like a current workout clock. Current round. Something like that. So our completion clock and then our current round clock. So our current round clock. So how could we do that? The current round clock is going to be we could set it with each one. We could say document no, we don't want to set it with each time. Oh yeah, we can do that, set clock. Well, with the set clock, we can't pass it into here. So here we can get the element by the current round clock. And then we want to set this equal to, this is the title. Okay, so I'm just going to comment this out and console.log here for now. And we can say phase index. Okay, the current activity one. We're going to have access to this with each element. Phase schedule clock. Okay. We're going to have access to this and then the interval, right? And so now if I refresh the page here and we click here, this is the interval is set to the 10. So it's set to 10. Why did it only do it once? Fast. Oh, you know what? After that first one. Oh, these only iterate each time. So we don't want to do that within here. We want to just have the phase and the phase index outside of this if statement. 180. Okay, so the phase. Okay, we don't want it to do it that way. Okay, so we've got the set clock here. We could do one that's like set. What are we working with here? Set current round clock. Current round clock. Okay, so now let's just copy the way that we're setting the clock. Function set current round clock. And what are we passing into the current round clock? We could pass in the time to go in seconds. Time to go in seconds, and then maybe our phase. Phase index. Let's see here. We have workout phases, and we have our phase index, which would be at like 0, and then we would have our current time. Time to go in phases, time to go in seconds, and our workout phases, and our workout phase, our phase index. And so now if I come up here and I console, let's just say time to go and our workout interval. And then so I'm just going to console log these and see what happens. Refresh this page, get this started. Okay, cool. 480, 490, 477. So what we want to do is subtract. We want to put document.getElement by ID, and in the inner HTML, we want to say, we want to make that the time to go minus the workout interval. And man, then we want to do this same thing. I think we refresh here and see what happens. We should be getting a big the current round 987. Oh wow, it's just working. Amazing. 3, 2, 1. And then it just keeps going forever. Workout interval. Our workout phase is being passed in. Anyways, that kind of gives you an idea. I'm going to kind of wrap this one up because we've been working on this for so long. This tutorial has turned out to be way bigger than what I thought. And it's really close. This could actually be used right now. It's going to work all the way through. You could actually go do the workout to this thing. So it's pretty awesome. The last thing I want to do before I finish this tutorial is I'm going to publish it to the internet so that people can use it in the case that they want to do that. Cool. So I've saved everything, and we'll see you in the next lesson.